We are following reports that Prince Harry has arrived back in the UK this morning after his father, King Charles III, was diagnosed with cancer. And we don't know what type of cancer he's being treated for or the severity of it, but British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said this morning that doctors caught it early. So that's at least some good news. For more on this, we're going to bring in Roya Nikkhah. She is the royal editor at the Sunday Times and a CBS News royal contributor. Very good to see you again, Roya. So why is the palace... You know, I think it's very interesting that the palace has been so transparent.
In certain ways.
In certain areas. But, you know, we've had this conversation with our Secretary of Defense, who just coincidentally recently was diagnosed with prostate cancer as well, right? And he kind of struggled with what you tell the public versus the desire for privacy, especially when you're dealing with such a weighty health crisis. So how kind of out of the ordinary is Buckingham Palace's transparency?
Well, good morning to you both. And I think you've absolutely hit the nail on the head. The complete shift in gear from reign change of Queen Elizabeth to King Charles in terms of transparency is marked. When the late Queen was unwell in her final years, the palace were very not completely clear about what was wrong with her. Mobility issues was the general phrase used. Just a few weeks ago, when Charles was admitted to hospital for treatment for an enlarged prostate, he was completely open about his condition. And we've had so much information in the last 24 hours about the fact the King is suffering from cancer. This is unprecedented. We never normally get this kind of information from members of our royal family about their health. So I think it's really notable that the King is trying to be as open as possible, but also with that openness, I think trying to reassure the public constitutionally, nothing has changed. He is still dealing with his affairs of state.
Roya, as you probably heard in the introduction, there are reports that Prince Harry is now in the United Kingdom. As we have reported, and you know, the King and his son have had a fairly tense relationship. But I wonder if you've had any word as to what other members of the royal family are doing, because certainly for the prince to get on a plane and travel all the way back to Britain certainly sends a signal that this isn't just something minor. On the other hand, I wonder what, for example, the King's brothers and his sister are doing. Have they gathered at Buckingham Palace, or are they continuing on with their royal duties? Although I know Prince Andrew doesn't have any.
It's a really good question, and actually yesterday evening when we got that huge announcement of the King's cancer treatment and diagnosis, Princess Anne, his sister, was out and about doing her engagements as normal. So there was no sudden stopping of duties and gathering round, by the King. Life went on with other members of the royal family. We know that Prince William on Wednesday is resuming his public duties. He's been at home looking after Catherine, who's been unwell after her surgery. So they are trying to keep that ship as steady as possible. In terms of Harry, a lot of speculation about, does it suggest something more significant and ominous, that he's coming straight over? I think it'd be really strange if Harry hadn't wanted to be with his father after a cancer diagnosis. After everything that's happened, Charles has made it clear he loves his son. Harry's made it clear he loves his father. Father and son want to be together. I think that's why he's come and why he's arrived here today.
Yeah, totally reasonable. And, maybe the silver lining in this is that finally a rift can be kind of sealed up with this family,
because
right?
it's all I won't go so far as to use the word petty, but it is all not important when it comes to matters of life and death.
Exactly,
I mean, what matters is the relationship.
Yeah, it's so true. So speaking of the relationship, what's been the reaction with the public in the UK, the relationship that they have with the King? Because, there's a lot of support for him and a lot of rooting for him.
That's right.
Everyone, you sort of, recognize that he waited a very long time to be king, and to have this challenge so early on in his reign is, to use a phrase, it kind of sucks.
That's one way of putting it, absolutely. I mean, I think, we are just 17 months after, his accession to the throne. We are 9 months after his coronation. This is a new reign. This is an old monarch, but a very new reign. And what was interesting was a couple of weeks ago, after that first health news about treatment for his prostate, there was a bounce for him in the polls. His popularity increased. There is huge goodwill here for Charles. There has been ever since, he was preparing to be king in those final years of the late Queen's life. He stepped up, he stood in for her. And since his accession, it's been a very steady ship. The public will be feeling for him. He will be frustrated that he's having to, curtail his public duties so early into his reign. But there's an enormous amount of support for the King and the wider royal family with this news, and it is shocking news.
And finally, Roya, any word from Queen Camilla's office? I know as well that she has royal duties. My guess is that she is continuing those royal duties, or is perhaps she just at Charles's side?
It's both, actually, at the moment, Vlad. What was extraordinary last week, we now know that Camilla knew about the diagnosis quite early on last week, and she still carried on with a raft of duties, including going to a Maggie's cancer centre when she already knew her husband had been diagnosed. We're told she is there in a very supportive role for Charles, but she is now the most senior member of the royal family doing public-facing duties. So there's an enormous onus on her to keep the ship going too. So she's juggling a lot of plates at the moment.
Roya Nikkhah, always wonderful to have you to provide clarity around the royal family in moments like this. We really appreciate it. Thank you.